Wow. That was a pretty awesome service. I was being my typical self, being kind of a smart aleck in the room back here, and I said, there's nothing could possibly go wrong with this many people involved, and that was just pretty awesome. So, it's great to be with the saints here today. Welcome to our guests, if there are any. Hey, you're not a guest anymore, you're just a member. There will be no men's prayer tomorrow. No men's prayer meeting tomorrow. We'll all be in prayer, but not meeting together in prayer. So, ladies' class will be Tuesday at 10:30. Men's study and ladies' study Thursdays night at 7 p.m. There are no prayers of praise here, so we'll go into prayers of concern. Prayers for Stacy and her health challenges as the school year gets started. Of course, a prayer that Larry led before the service for Terry Duffy, and that his surgery went well and as good as expected. And praise God for the good news that they received, although there's some struggles ahead, and that's always a concern of going forward, what's going to happen next. So, but praise be to God for the surgery going well. And for Richie's sister, Tammy, prayers for so that she's still dealing with infection in her foot. And for Courtney, which is Richie and Heather's daughter, pray God will open her heart, for she is really struggling. Is there any other?
Yeah, there's one other announcement. It'll be on the screen behind you, though. So,
when did you start watching The Chosen?
Because from the beginning, because I had major skepticism because it kept popping up on social media.
Yes.
So I just thought it was like this like hokey thing that like just showed up on social media, and I just went. And I'm a kid from like the 80s, so like I remember like Jesus films.
Like it's another Jesus movie.
Right? Right? That's exactly my thought.
Like,
and I just went,
Christian, weird Christian.
that is
hokey.
Unfortunate. Like, too bad for them. I like stepped away from it because I was
so funny.
I was like,
I sure thought that you were like from the very beginning.
yeah, no.
I did too. I did not know that.
Wow.
Yeah. And then it kept coming up, and then I'd start seeing people's responses to it, and I went, what is this about? This seems different. This seems more legit. This doesn't seem so hokey.
I think it was about halfway through season 2 when I started watching season. But I had a hard time. Like, I started watching season 1, episode 1, and maybe not even 5 minutes into it, I was like, oh, I can't watch this. Because of the way they portrayed one of the characters, one of the people in the Bible.
Sure.
And then like 2-3 weeks went by and I tried to watch it again. And I got a little bit further and I was like, no, I can't do it. Probably 3 or 4 times I started it before I actually got all the way through the first episode. And then I was hooked. It didn't take long. Then I binge watched.
Yeah. Well, I found the first episode very difficult. Like, to kind of, I felt like it was an odd place to start, and it didn't catch me as well as like the second one,
And I remember watching the first episode, and I'm pretty sure I watched it by myself. And just at the end, just like weeping,
Okay. One other thing did come to mind when you were finishing up on your reflection, John, that you say you're not a preacher. I don't think you're a preacher either. You're a teacher, and you're an excellent teacher at that, and an excellent song leader. So we're blessed to have you and your family, and Jeremy, a big part of that back there. He sits in the little booth his name is Jeremy Tellegren. You got to remind him that every now and then. So let's go to our Father in prayer.